Good morning, YouTubians. It's Kermit's Ghost. You can call me Alan. It's Monday, the 7th of April 2025. It's National Beer, Cake and Coffee Day in the United States of America today. The beer side of that celebration has been observed since 2009, but it is celebrated on the 7th of April as the Cullen-Harrison Act was signed in 1933, as Prohibition was discontinued on that day. And in case you thought it was just America that had Prohibition, think again. Canada had it in 1918 to 1920, Soviet Union had it from 1914 to 1925, and Iceland had it from 1915 to 1935. But that's enough about booze. It's a Blu-ray release day. I'm going to be heading up to HMV to film the latest releases. And bear in mind, any pickups I make today, I'll try and show next week, as I try to watch everything I show in the conclusion. I'll also pop into CEX, and if you're thinking of selling your Blu-rays, I will tell you what they will give you for them. And of course, I'll grab myself a nice hot Costa coffee along the way at some point, not a sponsor. Now, as many of you enjoyed seeing some outside footage last week, I'll try to incorporate a clip of the Seafront as well. So, time's now marching on, so I'm going to get on with the video. So here I am on the Seafront. Now, I used to film a lot of my video intros down here, but started to find as soon as I set my GoPro camera up along with its external microphone, people would either be extra loud nearby or just see my camera and try to get themselves on film, which was really annoying and time consumers. It would have to mean multiple takes. So now I start my videos from the movie room and incorporate a clip or two outside when I can. So here's a look at the West Pier in Brighton, or what's left of it. Now it serves as a perch for resting seagulls. This opened in 1866, but it closed for public use in 1975 when it fell into disrepair. Then it was damaged during the storm of 1987, and then finally in 2003 it was destroyed by fire. Let's pop into CEX first and see what they will give you for your films. So if you want to trade in Braveheart and CEX, they will offer you 90p voucher or just 40p in cash, but to be fair, they're only selling it for £3. Black Phone for £5, they will offer you a £2 voucher or £1.30 in cash. The Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, which sells for £1. Voucher-wise, we're talking 1p. Cash-wise, we're talking the same, 1p. Hatchie, A Dog's Tale for £3. Voucher-wise, you're looking at 90p. Cash, you're looking at 40p. Hancock, which they are selling for £1, so that's going to be exactly the same as the Hobbit Unexpected Journey, so a penny either way. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which they are selling for £12, so that would generate a voucher of £8 or £5 in cash. Iron Man 2 for £2, so that is a 10p voucher or just 1p in cash. It's a Wonderful Life, I beg to differ, £5 in store, so that will generate a £2 voucher or £1.30 in cash. Here we have the International, they are selling it for just 50p, so that's a penny voucher and the same in cash. Paddington 2, which is priced at £4, if you want to trade it in, they will give you a voucher for £1.30, or if you want cash, you're looking at 60p. And the last one to show you is Star Wars Solo in 3D. £6 they're charging in store, so that's worth a £2 voucher or just £1.50 in cash. Okay, so here we go with new releases, and in no particular order, I'm going to start with Harakiri, Death of a Samurai. This is a Japanese drama from 2011 set in the 1630s. It's about a poverty-stricken samurai whose unnecessary death is revenged years later. This is based on a 1962 film by Masaki Kobayashi. This film is priced at £14.99 and it carries an 18 certificate. Eric the Viking next. This is the standard release, as the limited edition came out December 2020. This is a comedy fantasy adventure from 1989 and is about Eric, who is a Viking who is fed up with the constant fighting and pillaging, so he embarks on a journey after he was told in a vision to do so in order to bring around a new era of peace. This stars Tim Robbins, Eartha Kitt, Terry Jones and Mickey Rooney. This is priced at £14.99. Better Man next, a biopic telling the story of Robbie Williams' rise, fall and then rise again in the music industry. Robbie himself is voicing the CGI chimpanzee who has depicted his part. Steve Pemberton is playing his father Peter and Kate Mulvaney is playing his mother Janet. Definitely a film if you enjoy his music, although Adam Tucker does provide Robbie's additional singing vocals in the film for some reason. So this has a Blu-ray which is priced at £14.99 and a 4K which is priced at £24.99. Nosferatu next. This is a story of a vampire from Transylvania who is played by Bill Skarsgård. Now in this film, the vampire is known as Count Orlok, but we all know it's based on Dracula. Lily Rose Depp is playing Ellen, who is based on Mina's character. Nicholas Hoult is Thomas, but based on John Harker. Willem Dafoe is playing Professor von Franz, but is based on Van Helsing. Ralph Ineson is playing Sievers, but is based on John Seward. And Simon McBurney is playing Herr Nock, but is based on Renfield. This was directed by Robert Edgers. The names were originally changed when Nosferatu was made in 1922, for which Bram Stoker's wife Florence sued Prana Film Studio and tried to have all copies destroyed, but has now fallen into public domain. The Blu-ray is priced at £14.99 and the 4K is priced at £24.99. Incubus next, a supernatural slasher from 1981, directed by John Ho. This is about a serial rapist targeting women of similar appearance in a small town. Meanwhile, a young man has a reoccurring nightmare about women being attacked by a monstrous figure. Now, are they linked? Who knows? This stars John Cassavetes, John Ireland, Kerry Keane, Helen Hughes and Erin Noble. This one is priced at £16.99 and it carries an 18 certificate. Black Cab next from Acorn Media. This is a horror thriller from last year that stars Nick Frost as a cab driver who picks up Anna and her fiancé Patrick, who just want to go home. But the driver has other plans for the couple, which involves a spirit that haunts drivers on the road. This is priced at £12.99 and it carries a 15 certificate. Booger next from Arrow. This is a limited edition release and it's a body horror comedy from 2023 that's written and directed by Mary Dalterman. This film follows Anna, who's played by Grace Glowicki, who is bitten by a cat and undergoes a strange bodily transformation. This one is priced at £17.99. Next is Let's Get Lost. This is a musical documentary from 1988 about the jazz trumpeter Chet Baker. This was written, produced and directed by Bruce Weber and looks back on his life and career from the 1950s to the 1980s and features interviews from Chris Isaak, Lisa Marie, William Claxton and Ruth Young. This is priced at £14.99. Next is Night of the Felines. This is a Japanese comedy drama from 1972 about three prostitutes who work at a bathhouse brothel in Tokyo, and it follows their day-to-day activities and the people they encounter. This carries an 18 certificate and is priced at £16.99, and as far as I can tell it only has a Japanese audio track, so expect subtitles. A Woman of Paris next on the Criterion label. This is a romantic drama from 1923 that was written and directed by Charlie Chaplin. This is about a woman who still holds a candle for her ex-fiancé. It stars Edna Provence, Adolphe Menjeur and Charlie Chaplin himself. This one is priced at £22.99. The Unwanted Undead Adventure Season 1 next. This is about a lackluster monster hunter called Rent Fainer who, after happening across an undiscovered path, finds his luck is about to change. This release contains 12 episodes which are split onto 2 discs and it has a runtime of 300 minutes. This is priced at £34.99. Corvette Summer next on the Warner Archive label. This is an adventure comedy from 1978 which sees Mark Hamill's character travel from LA to Vegas to retrieve his stolen Corvette Stingray. And along the way he meets Vanessa, who is played by Annie Potts in her first film role. This movie is priced at £14.99 and it carries a 12 certificate. The Contractor next, an action thriller from 2022, directed by Tariq Salah. This stars Chris Pine as a Green Beret who is forced to work in the private sector as he was dishonourably discharged for drug use as he has a painkiller dependency for a leg injury. This also stars Ben Foster, Kiefer Sutherland and Eddie Marsan. This one is priced at £14.99. Wacko next, a comedy horror from 1982. This is an 88 films release and it's about a police officer played by Joe Don Baker who dresses up on Halloween night as a local serial killer from 13 years ago who was never caught. The killer wears a pumpkin head and pushes a lawnmower. This one is priced at £16.99. Next is The Guard from Underground. This is a Japanese slasher film from 1992, directed by Kiyoshi Kurosawa, and it's about a young woman who starts work for a large corporation the very same day as a security guard who was once a chief suspect in a murder does. It's not long before the guard becomes a little bit obsessed with the woman and is willing to kill to get near her. This one carries a 15 certificate and is priced at £14.99. Day of the Fight next. This is a drama from 2023. It stars Michael Pitt as a former middleweight boxing champion who, after leaving prison, prepares mentally and physically for his return fight. It also stars Steve Buscemi, Joe Pesci and Ron Perlman. It carries a 15 certificate and is priced at £12.99. Showdown in Little Tokyo next on the Warner Archive label. This is a buddy cop action movie from 1991, directed by Mark L. Lester, who made Commando in Class of 1984. This stars Dolph Lundgren and Brandon Lee as maverick cops who try to take down a Japanese mobster. Just 78 minutes long, this one, and it's priced at £14.99. Next is the horror thriller 4-film collection from the Warner Archive label, which includes Wolfen from 1981, about a cop who investigates a series of brutal murders. The Hunger from 1983, an erotic vampire horror directed by Tony Scott and starring David Bowie. Innocent Blood from 1982, this is another vampire film. This one's directed by John Landis. It's about a female vampire and a policeman lover who are hunting down a vampire crime boss. And Body Snatchers from 1993, aliens who are replacing humans by way of cloning, and this is directed by Abel Ferrara. All these films could be yours for just £24.99. Dark Gathering Complete Collection Season 1 next. This is about a young boy who seems to attract spirits wherever he goes, much to his dismay, but he decides to put his fears aside and get a part-time job. Unfortunately, he gets one working for a talented medium who is searching for one particular malevolent spectre. This contains 25 episodes and has a runtime of 625 minutes. This one is priced at £39.99. And the last title to show you is A Real Pain, put out by Disney Buena Vista. This is a comedy drama from last year about two cousins, one played by Kieran Culkin, the other one by Jesse Eisenberg, who also wrote and directed this film. And together they reunite on a Jewish heritage tour in Poland to honour their late grandmother. Culkin won the Academy Award for his performance in this film. Also stars Jennifer Grey and Will Sharp, and this one is priced at £14.99. Hey everybody, welcome back. 4 titles to talk about today. 1 is an import and 3 are from HMV. Let's crack on with it. Okay, first one I'm going to show you is The Substance. This is a body horror from last year that was written, produced and directed by Coralie Fargeet. Now this one stars Demi Moore as Elizabeth Sparkle. She is an aging Hollywood actress whose career is unfortunately now on the wane. Elizabeth, a former Oscar winner, now has this morning aerobics show on cable TV, and her sleazy producer is Harvey, played brilliantly by Dennis Quaid. He actually aims to get rid of her because of her age. Elizabeth actually overhears him on a phone call saying that she's so past her prime she needs to be replaced. Later, Elizabeth is involved in a car crash and a nurse at the hospital slips her a flash drive advertising Substance, which is a black market drug that can make a younger, better version of yourself, but you have to live 1 week as the old version and then another week as the young version. A coexistence, but you must follow the rules because there are some dire consequences if you don't. Now Elizabeth, after a few bevies, she orders Substance, and that's where I'll leave it. I won't say it anymore story-wise, but I will mention also stars Margaret Qualley as Sue, the younger version of Elizabeth. Margaret, in case you didn't know, is Andy McDowell's daughter. So, the body horror of this film. The body horror section will make you wince at times. It wasn't the ripping out of Elizabeth's back or sewing it back up. That wasn't what got me. No, it was the injections into the infected sore on her back. Almost all of this was done using practical effects, which I'm glad the director went for that option. Definitely worth checking out. This one's got a runtime of 2 hours, 21 minutes. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image. There are art cards inside. On the reverse of the cover, you have an image of 2 eggs, and if you've seen the film, you will get that reference. And on the disc, there is an image of a vial of substance. So that was The Substance. Next one to show you is The Zoo. This is an historic drama from 2017 that is set against the backdrop of World War II, and this is written and directed by Colin McIver. Now, with the Blitz terrorising the people of Northern Ireland between April and May of 1941, the Belfast Zoo's vet, George Hall, who's being played by Damien O'Hare, is conscripted into the army, leaving all of his animals vulnerable. So his 12-year-old son Tom, who's being played by Art Parkinson, and with the help of some of his friends, they take a baby elephant called Buster and hide him away before he is due to be put to sleep. You may know Art from the film San Andreas, who played the character of Ollie Taylor in that, or even from Game of Thrones, where he played the character of Rickon Stark. Now, it does list at the end of this movie all the animals that were unfortunately euthanized by the Ministry of Public Security. Some 33 animals in total, complete waste of life. But Buster the elephant, real name Nellie, was hidden in the backyard of Denise Austin's house. Denise is being played by the wonderful Penelope Wilton. This is a feel-good film. Obviously it is sad in places with war, the loss of life to both human and animals, and also being based on actual events as well. But it is a film that is uplifting when it needs to be. This also stars Toby Jones. He is the zoo's security officer, Charlie. This one's got a runtime of just 95 minutes and it just whizzes by. Let's take a look inside. So the image from the front cover has been put onto the disc. So that was The Zoo. Next one to show you is Never Let Go, a supernatural horror thriller from last year, directed by Alexander Ajar. His films include Mirrors, and the 2019 alligator horror film Crawl. Premise of this film is this: you've got a dark supernatural evil entity that has decimated the planet of human life except for 3 people, a mother and her 2 sons. The mum is just known as Mama in the film, being played by Halle Berry, and her sons are Nolan, being played by Percy Daggs IV, and Samuel, being played by Anthony B. Jenkins. All 3 of these survivors have to go looking for food in the forest that surrounds their cabin. Now when I say food, I mean bugs, bird eggs, and even tree bark at one point when the food all runs out. But there's one rule: they all have to be attached to a rope at all times. The rope is very long, supposed to protect them, but it's not exactly explained why in the film it does protect them. And I should point out that the rule is set by the mother, who is the only one to have seen this evil entity that lurks nearby. The question is it all in her head? Well, you have to watch it and find out for yourself. I will mention that the family do have a pet dog, and it isn't tied up at all. It's permitted to roam free outside. That's all I'm going to say. This is a pretty solid film actually. Vibes of the Village. 2 young actors in this give a convincing performance, and it's got a runtime of 1 hour and 42 minutes. Let's take a look inside. There is an image on the disc which isn't on the cover, and it's of our 3 survivors in the forest looking for food attached to a very long rope. So that was Never Let Go. Okay, next and last is Mufasa the Lion King. This is a musical drama from last year, directed by Barry Jenkins, who also directed Moonlight from 2016 and If Beale Street Could Talk. This is a sequel to the hyper-realistic CGI Lion King from 2016, and a few of those actors have returned to reprise their voiceover roles, the likes of Billy Eichner as Timon the Meerkat, Seth Rogen as Pumbaa the Warthog, Donald Glover as Simba the future Lion King of Pride Rock, Beyonce as Nala the Lioness, and John Canny as Rafiki the Mandrill, who is a close friend to Mufasa. Talking of which, Mufasa this time around is being voiced by Aaron Pierre. And to cut a very long story short, Rafiki is telling the story of the early days of the lion cub Mufasa, who gets lost after a flood, taken in by another pride. The future king of that pride is Taka, being voiced by Calvin Harrison Jr., and Taka will eventually grow up and be renamed as Scar. Mufasa and Scar, through circumstances, are forced to go it alone, and Mufasa then mates with Sarabi, who is voiced by Tiffany Boone, and together they have the lion cub Simba. There are a few other subplots going on, but there's no need to get bogged down. The CGI in this is unbelievably good. I am sure Disney have done a deal with the devil. Other actors include Thandie Newton as Taka's mother, Mads Mikkelsen as the voice of the villainous White Lion in the film, and Keith David as Mufasa's father. This movie made over $500 million profit, so I expect more to follow. It's got a runtime of 1 hour 58 minutes. Could have been shorter. Let's take a look inside. The slipcover and the cover have the same image, and an image of Taka, aka Scar, has been put onto the disc. So that was Mufasa the Lion King. So that was it. Have you seen any of those? Do you plan to pick them up, or just want to leave a comment? Then do so down below. I will read every single one, and I'll try to reply if I have the time. Give the video a thumbs up, really does help the channel, and subscribe if you haven't. It's all free. Why wouldn't you? And on that note, all that's left to say is thank you so much for choosing my channel today and watching my video. Take care. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.